Chiefs Kingdom, if you want draft coverage unlike anywhere else, not only are we going to have it right here on the Chiefs Report, you can follow me at JaceAndrews_ on Twitter. I'm going to be tweeting out everything leading up to draft night and on draft night. The picks, what's trending, the rumors, things I'm hearing from sources, everything you want and more at JaceAndrews_. First 10 people that follow me, I'm following you right back. So go do that right now. I really do appreciate hanging out with us, Chiefs Kingdom. I am your host, Jace Andrews, and today is one of my favorite days of the week. We're doing our live show right now, and so we get to talk Chiefs with you, and I hope you are ready for some of the latest Chiefs news and Chiefs rumors because we got you covered. Let's get into it here with the first question being then none other, the loyal viewer, Tony Fuentes. Hashtag Chiefs, if I have to pick one wide receiver from Texas, like I said, I like both Xavier Worthy and Mitchell, but I'm picking Xavier Worthy. Interesting choice there because I am going AD Mitchell 10 times out of 10 in that situation if they are both there. The reason being, I know the stats favor Worthy. However, the things the Chiefs, in my mind, are looking for from their other wide receivers in this draft far more complement with AD Mitchell than Xavier Worthy. You have Hollywood Brown and speed. You have a lot of decent speed guys. AD is overall just the better wide receiver, and though his yards aren't there, 11 touchdowns? Yeah, I'm taking that every single day, plus his drops are nowhere near as rough as Xavier Worthy. Xavier did drop it from 10 to 5, but still, 10 was horrible, so 5 is just okay. AD had played at Georgia too, and was good there for a decent part of it. I know that had some injury history, but they went to Texas. Every single college football playoff game he played in, he had a touchdown. I'm taking that every day. Ethan Hart, my guy from Birmingham, saying hashtag Chiefs, what will we need to give up to trade up to get a wide receiver like AD or Brian Thomas Jr.? I'm glad you brought that up because I think there is a couple different ways we could go about this. And we're going to talk about this a lot, obviously, with the draft. You have to probably be willing to give up a third-round pick in next year's draft. That's what I have been seeing as like the baseline for giving it up. However, if you trade maybe say 26 or farther up, I think you could get away with maybe giving up a 4th-round pick next year or a 5th-round pick in some ways. The bigger thing is you do have 2 third-round picks. So I would say if you can give the 3rd rounder back and trade up to go get an AD or Brian Thomas Jr., I'm doing that every single day. Just a matter of if Brett Veach values those receivers that high or maybe it's just smoke in the air. Patty Mahomey saying hashtag Chiefs. What order of positions do you think the Chiefs will draft? I like this question. I've actually had this on another show, but I want to answer this again. Here's the way I see the draft going in my perfect world. Round 1, you take a wide receiver. It's what you need most, and the draft class is very deep in that way. So I'm taking that. At number 2, round 2, I'm taking offensive tackle. They want to bring in competition for Wanya Morris. The cornerback here is going to be good. I think that's why in round 3 you go cornerback. In round then 4, maybe you go tight end. And then round 5, I'm going running back. So there's my 5 there. Wide receiver, offensive tackle, cornerback, round 4, tight end, round 5, halfback. And hey, we'll get to find out if I'm right in just a couple hours at this point. They're coming up on the draft in less than 48 hours. And we'll be live for it. So make sure you're joining us here on the Chiefs Report. We're going to be live for basically the last half of the draft here, 25 through about 32. We got you covered. So hit that subscribe button. Get 3 Oak saying hashtag Chiefs. What could we get for our 1st round pick from the trade chart thing? Do you know? The 1st round option is probably going to make them lean tackle, though, I have a feeling. Yeah, I think that's where we sit at this moment. And the draft capital and the way that the 1st round works, it's going to be weird to see how Brett Veach makes this into I don't want to say a race, but he's going to kind of put these basically goggles on for the guys that he wants. We've seen him constantly go in and be able to make moves and make trades and get up there. I do think, though, with tackle, though, it actually does make sense to trade back if you're going to get a tackle. You get an extra pick. I know you don't get a 1st round pick, but you're going to get a tackle. Who do you want the Chiefs to draft in round 1? Is there somebody you have in your mind that you're saying, oh, yeah, we have got to get that person. I want him on my squad. Well, then comment that down in the comment section. Who do you want for the Chiefs to draft in round 1? I'll tell you who I want on my team. Jan Rockefeller. We're live right now, and she just sent in a $25 super chat. Jan, spam those Jans in the comments. Spam those Jans in the comments, and guess what? We're going to have a little super chat giveaway come Thursday evening. Maybe I just make a deal with Jan here, put this 25 into the giveaway already, and she has one of those entries. So let's get to her question, though, because I know Jan has a question, and probably a good one. She says, any surprise that Coach Reid signed a long-term contract? This should put retiring on the back burner. Surprise? Not really. I mean, I know that they've been talking a lot about making him the highest paid coach. The surprise, though, for how long the extension is. 2029. That's so good. That's so good. You got him locked in for the next 5 years. Expect 3 Super Bowls. Expect 3 Super Bowls. And retiring is totally not the thought process right here. However, not to be the Debbie Downer, 2029 and 2030 may be some of the most interesting years in Chiefs history when they come about, because that's when Veach's contract is up. That's when you're going to have Reid's contract up. That's when potentially the Chiefs could move. They don't get an extension with Jackson County, and maybe they have to move Arrowhead or move out of the state. There's a lot of things that are happening, but let's not worry about that right now. When 2029 hits in 5 years, we'll figure that out. For now, let's just be excited and happy that Coach Reid and GM Brett Veach are staying in Kansas City. It makes me so freaking happy. It also makes me happy when I get cheap tickets, and Game Time is easy to do that. Plus, you can get $20 off your first purchase by using code CHATSPORTS when you download the Game Time app and go to the redeem code section. Now, Game Time is amazing because it makes sure you don't have to worry about tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the sports, music, comedy, and theater events in your area. They've got last-minute deals, all-in prices, and views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. They're going to take the guesswork out of buying tickets. They have got super, super easy ways to go around their app. And I know it's a frustrating time sometimes buying tickets. Game Time, not at all. I get tickets in less than 2 clicks, and it takes me less than 2 minutes. It's super awesome, super user-friendly. You get pictures from your seat before you even purchase the ticket. Their map layout to see how the prices compare, where the cheapest tickets are, where they got flash deals, where they got zone deals. I'm telling you, if you don't have Game Time right now, you're missing out. You're also missing out on $20 free. I mean, that's bang right there. You use $20 off, you can buy yourself a hot dog, a Coke at the Royals game at Kauffman Stadium. So once again, you can download the Game Time app and then put in that code at ChatSports for $20 off. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time by downloading the Game Time app and create an account, and then use the code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code is CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets at the lowest price guarantee. Chad Jameson has a question for us, saying #Chiefs. Since Tranquill got an extension, does that mean Bolton is expendable? No, not at all. Because Tranquill was a bargain at his price. $19 million over 3 years with just $13 million guaranteed is a bargain for a guy who, in all reality, took over for Nick Bolton for half the season last year while he was injured. I think Bolton is expected to get an extension. I think he will get an extension done within the next year. I'd say a year from now, we're talking about his extension or how long he's going to be with the Chiefs. Willie Gay was the one that was expendable. I think that was the thing. Tranquill was going to be cheaper than Gay, and on top of which, you now can extend Bolton for a decent price. You have Leo Chenal, who's young. You're not going to have to pay him for 2 years. Bolton's not expendable. They were just getting ready to pay him, I think, is the bigger thing, because you weren't going to pay Willie Gay if you were going to pay Bolton. You can pay Drue Tranquill and still play Nick Bolton. Chris32 saying #Chiefs. Do you think the Chiefs will make any draft trades? If so, what will they be? I've narrowed it down to 2 different trades the Chiefs could make. They're in round 1 or round 2. In round 1, if they make a trade, I believe they will go up to picks 22 through 27 and pick a wide receiver like Brian Thomas Jr. or Adonai Mitchell. That's one trade that I could definitely see them doing, and I think Brett Veach is probably actively pursuing in my mind. The other one, let's say you don't get a trade done in round one, and maybe you get Jordan Morgan. Maybe you get Xavier Legette. I think you could potentially see a trade up in round two should you not get a wide receiver, though. Like if Kool-Aid McKinstry is there or Jordan Morgan, maybe you take those guys, and then you trade up with a 6th-round pick next year and your 2nd-round pick to, instead of 64, 55, and get a falling potential Troy Franklin, a falling Xavier Legette. Keon Coleman could potentially still be available at that slot. That's the way I could see a trade in the 2nd round if you probably don't get a 1st-round wide receiver, but we'll have to see. It's a good question, though, and I want to kind of open this up for discussion for all of Chiefs Kingdom. Do you want the Chiefs to make a draft trade? Type Y for yes or type N for no. Is that something you want the Chiefs to make, or maybe hold off on that? Y for yes, N for no. What do you want the Chiefs to do? David Stocking, hashtag Chiefs. Do you think the Chiefs get another veteran wide receiver in the 4th round? Maybe. Luke McCaffrey is one I've seen mocked to the Chiefs a lot, around 4 or around 5. I know that in my mind, though, if you're getting a 2nd wide receiver and you want him to be veteran style, go get a free agent. Odell Beckham Jr. is still available. You've got Tyler Boyd, who's still available. Those are guys that I would rather have, maybe, if you're going to get a 2nd wide receiver, especially with the Rashee Rice situation. I think you hold off. I was a big guy of getting 2 wide receivers early, but now it doesn't make sense. You get one really early, and then you sign somebody probably waiting to figure out the Rashee Rice situation. Tony Fuentes saying, hashtag Chiefs, I'm up for Brian Thomas Jr. I don't see the Chiefs getting him unless we send in a trade, but I can see the Chiefs bringing in that top weapon. I agree. He is going to be a trade asset. You're not just going to get him at 32. That's not going to happen. But trade, I don't mind bringing in the guy who had the most touchdowns in the FBS last year. That seems like a pretty good option to me, considering then you're probably not giving up picks this year. You're giving up picks next year. I don't know about you. I'll take that. I'll take that every day. Chad Jameson has another question for us saying, do you think KC can afford to bring back Thuney, Humphry, and Trey Smith after 2024? Short answer, yes. Long answer, it's going to be really hard, but they can do it. Smith, I think, has already talked about how he loves to play in Kansas City. I think he could take a pay cut. Humphry and Thuney are where I have a question mark, because although they're offensive linemen, their paychecks are not going to be as good as a wide receiver or quarterback or even Chris Jones, it's still going to be a pretty high price to pay. That being said, you can put a lot of money into the signing bonus, and with the way the Chiefs are going, their success they have, it wouldn't be that big a deal for them to just say, hey, we're going to get you for the next 3 years, but we're going to give you a big signing bonus this year, and then in 2 years, we'll pay you a lump sum of your money, but we may be able to cut you by then. I think there's just contract agreements that they're going to have to go through, and I think it's possible in short and long, though, it will be tough to keep all 3 of them. If you want your Chiefs draft content all in one place, no further place to look than right here on the Chiefs Report. Hit that subscribe button. We'll be live for the draft right there, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. And bang, you're locked into the best draft coverage for the Kansas City Chiefs in 2024. We appreciate hanging out with you all day today, and we will see you for the draft. For now, peace out.